10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, here we are, folks. It's Michael, and I am here with you at none other than the No Soundbites Allowed podcast. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here and make this look good for you folks. So a little bit of an intro there, talking about Game of Thrones, which I happen to love. It's a great program, and I think, I know everybody loves Game of Thrones, right? Don't we all? And I'm a big fan of this show, and I've always enjoyed it, and hopefully many other people do as well. And I wanted to take a moment to really go into something that I think is important about the program. So if you've been following, we're in episode 3 of season 8. This is the final season. This is going to be a big show. I think it's about 86 minutes. It's going to be almost an hour and a half. It's an extended show. And of course, this is, by the way, spoilers. Before I say another word, spoilers, big time spoilers are about to come out. I don't know these things for a fact, but some of the things I'm about to talk about are, if you haven't been following the show, it will spoil the show for you. And I'm going to make some predictions here. And if you don't know, it will spoil the whole thing for you. So I just want you to know there could be spoilers in here. So I don't want anyone to be upset with me or say, gee, Mike, you didn't tell us that there could be spoilers here. So I'm trying to make sure that I answer that right now. Okay. And I'm about to put something on the screen. Here we go. So where is it? There it is. So you can't say I'm not telling people that there could be spoilers here. All right. I'm trying to make sure everybody knows ahead of time that there could be some big spoilers in this. Hang on. I'm trying to fix this so that people will see it ahead of time. So bear with me. There we go. Spoiler. So there's spoilers here. Spoilers could be involved. Everybody's been watching. So from this moment on, I'm going to just keep going. I think everybody knows spoilers may be coming up. So episode 3. We just saw a big episode in 2 so everyone came together in Winterfell, and we have all the main characters. They were talking about what are they going to do for their last moments on Earth, and what did they think. And I think in watching that episode, we learned a lot about who is going to die on Game of Thrones, who is not going to make it to the next day. And I think, and I want to call this episode a red kiss for the Grey Forge at Winterfell. And that name, that title in and of itself, that is the spoiler right there. I've just told you exactly who I think is going to die in episode 3. I think there's going to be 4 people who die in that episode. Could be a couple of people who are going to be injured, but I think that the show has told us exactly who is going to die in episode 3. And I want to hear what everyone else has to think about my predictions. And I'll tell you why I have these predictions in just a second. But let's go through this, okay? So we know that everybody met up. Everyone mentioned their last moments, their last thoughts, their last desires. And it's Game of Thrones. When people start talking like that, people drop like flies. Good people die off, bad people die off. People just die off, usually right as they're about to get whatever it is that they wanted, or sometimes right afterwards. And using that mindset, I looked at this, and I have to tell you, I'm looking at the game, and you may disagree with me, but when I saw people kissing, that is the kiss of death. That is people who are not coming back. They are done. Kiss them goodbye. You may not agree with me, but when I see Arya and I see Gendry together, that's it. Gendry, he's on my list. I think Gendry is dead. I think Now, I also think that Gendry gave Arya a baby, and I think that you're going to see going forward the line of Stark and Baratheon comes together under the Starks, with Arya Stark having Gendry's baby. And so that combines those two houses, something that Ned and the king, Robert, what Robert wanted all along. They're going to get it, but it's going to cost Gendry his life. I also think the other kiss that we saw at Winterfell, which says a lot, Grey Worm and Missandei. And I don't think it's going to be Missandei. No, I think she goes maybe in episode 4. She's going to be heartbroken. She's going to be devastated. But I think it's Grey Worm. He's on the front lines. The actor has mentioned already that we should be prepared for something heartbreaking to happen. And I can't think of anything worse than Grey Worm turning into a white and trying to attack his friends and trying to kill Daenerys when after he's been turned by the Night King, and coming after and having him come after and probably kill Missandei. Now, I don't think that'll happen in episode 3. I think that happens in episode 4. But Grey Worm gets killed in episode 3 after probably killing a host. He may even take out a White Walker himself. And then I would see him die. And I think he comes back as a white, and he goes after Missandei, and he kills her. That'll be episode 3 going into episode 4. That's what I think. I don't know this. This is my guess. I am making a prediction. I could be completely wrong, but I want to hear what you think. I'm watching this on Facebook. I'm looking for your reactions here, folks. If you think I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I think we can see Grey Worm. I think we can see Gendry. Those are my 2 picks. The worst thing that could have happened to those characters is that they kissed their significant other, the person they have been wanting to give a kiss to forever. That is the problem. That's the worst thing that could happen in Game of Thrones. And, worse yet for Gendry, he had sex. First time for Arya, absolutely. And when you think about it in all the trailers that we got to see before the season started, who was Arya running from? Who would Arya be terrified of? Who would she be afraid of? She would be afraid of the undead Gendry as a white chasing her down the halls of Winterfell. Someone she loves, someone she just had her first sex with, someone whose baby she's going to wind up carrying. Yeah, Gendry is the one who's chasing her down the halls. He's the one person she doesn't want to kill. That's who I think Arya is running from. I think these 2 things are absolutely going to happen. You may disagree with me. And again, I warned people ahead of time, and I'm going to say it again, that there are spoilers throughout what I'm talking about right now. You may not like this. You may not agree with this. These are my predictions for Game of Thrones. So take it with a grain of salt. Tell me what you think. But those are 2. Now, I'm not done. As I said, there are 4 people I think are going to die in episode 3. I think it's going to be heart-wrenching. It's going to be a battle. We're going to see that battle go from outside the walls into the walls. We're going to see it go all the way down into the dungeons in the crypts of Winterfell. We're going to see this all over the place. But this is who I think. And I like to take a break from all the politics every so often. And this is one of my favorite shows. I really enjoy it. And so I want to take a moment to, just talk about Game of Thrones. Everything, my sister was dark for a while. We were down until we got a donation from one of our fans, Scott Hopkins, who helped us out and got us back live. So I want to share something with everybody here. Now, as I mentioned, I'm calling this a red kiss for the Grey Forge at Winterfell. That's what I call this. That's what you'll see this under. If you go to YouTube, you'll see it under that title. That title tells you everything. So I've already explained what's the Grey Forge. Well, the Grey Forge is Grey Worm and Gendry. And that's going to be about the Baratheons. That's about the Unsullied. So far, you may agree with me, you may not. I still have 2 more people who I think are going to die in episode 3. That is guaranteed. That is absolutely, we've already been shown, it is absolutely going to happen. Now, you may think that it's going to be Theon Greyjoy, and he's going to die in the Grey Woods. And you'll probably be right, but not in episode 3. I think episode 4 is dealing with Bran and Theon in the woods, and just dealing with the Night King all by himself. And that's going to be a section all its own. And I think we don't get to see that. I think the rest of the battle is going to be happening. And then we're going to go over in episode 4 into the werewoods. And then we'll get to see what happens with that. And then we'll see the result of the battle afterwards as everyone's running away, trying to stay alive. That's what I think is going to happen. But I could be wrong. So let me go on with the spoilers, because I have 2 more people, as I said, that I think are going to die in episode 3 that we're going to see on screen and are going to be gut-wrenching. So a red kiss for the Grey Forge at Winterfell. This was all predicted in episode 2 of season 8. And the 2 other people that I think that are going to die, well, I will give you one and I'll tease a little bit of the other. So one is going to be Tormund Giantsbane. That's right. I think Tormund could be the next person who will die on my list of 4 people. Tormund Giantsbane will probably die. He's in love with Brienne. This man he's losing his mind. And he wants to be with Brienne. He's always wanted to be with Brienne. And one of the worst things that could happen in Game of Thrones is that you can want something and want it desperately and passionately and even innocently, and that gets you killed. Gets you killed. I mean, how many people have died for love? And notice, this is kind of like with Jaime Lannister and with Cersei. You know, Bran oversaw love and got thrown out the window and became the three-eyed raven, but they tried to kill him. You know, we got to see... well, every time we see people getting together, marriages and such, someone always dies. I see no difference with people kissing in this show or having sex in this show. It's a great way to get killed. But also just wanting to be with someone is enough to get you killed. And I think especially since we finally found out, how did Tormund Giantsbane get his name? We learned his history. We learned his background. We learned something about him. For the first time in 5 seasons, we finally find out something about him. Actually 4 seasons, but whatever. 4 seasons, 5 seasons, something like that. It doesn't matter. That's why he's not going to live. That's why he's going to die. So we know that in my book, Tormund's going to die along with Grey Worm and Gendry. So why is Tormund going to die? How is Tormund going to die? Well, I just showed you, and I gave it away a little bit. I gave it a little bit away. He's the red, of course, in my little thought there. But the reason why I think Tormund's going to die is because the 4th person that I think is going to die is in the other image. No, I don't think it... I know people are saying, so it's going to be Jaime. Jaime Lannister's going to die. So why would Tormund die? Jaime Lannister's going to die? Is Tormund going to try and save Jaime Lannister for Brienne and then he gets killed off or something like that? No. And I don't think Jaime Lannister dies in episode 3. I do not think it's going to be then. I think Jaime lives going back down south towards King's Landing. So I don't think it's going to be them. I don't think it will be him. I think, and I think this is the terrible part, I think that you're going to see Brienne die. Ser Brienne of Tarth. I think she dies. Because Brienne, sadly, got the thing that she wanted. She wanted to be a knight. She wanted to be a knight, and she got knighted by Jaime Lannister. The honorable Jaime Lannister. The man that she helped to redeem. The man that she helped to bring back to the light side of the Force, or whatever you want to call it. She is instrumental. They have love and respect, very unique on the show. Not so much a sexual love, not that kind of, it's intimate, but not in that way. No, they have a love that is based out of respect and admiration and the hardships that they went through together. It's a true, absolute, very pure form of love. And maybe even some physical attraction there. I think that Brienne, most women in the show like Jaime Lannister. I don't see Brienne not liking Jaime Lannister, but I think Jaime has come to love and appreciate Brienne. No, she's not a traditional beauty, but I think he does. And that makes it even more bittersweet. I mean, they have a little bit of a triangle going on there. Giantsbane, Jaime Lannister, Brienne of Tarth, and that makes it bittersweet. That I can see Jaime Lannister fighting besides Brienne, Lady Brienne, Ser Brienne of Tarth. And I could see Jaime fighting, maybe almost being killed by probably a White Walker. He's about to get killed by a White Walker. And here comes Ser Brienne Tarth, coming over and saving Jaime's life and dying, fighting to save Jaime Lannister, which would absolutely drive Tormund Giantsbane insane. And we would see him go into berserker mode. We would see him fighting like we have never seen him fighting before, killing people like we have never seen him kill people before. He would be a force beyond reckoning. I would imagine that Tormund would pick up her sword, Oathkeeper, and start tearing through White Walkers and the Whites alike. Enraged like he has never been enraged before on the show, killing dozens before he goes down. And Jaime Lannister being stuck there, watching Tormund in a fit of rage, having the last breaths of Brienne Tarth, speaking to him and giving her a kiss goodbye. A kiss that she's always wanted and was just too held up with being that, not being the Lady of Tarth, too busy being the knight and strong and not giving in and not giving herself the opportunity to have that little show of weakness, that femininity in saying that, no, I did want that kiss. That is what I see coming. Now, not everyone will agree with this. Oh, we got a comment here. What's the comment? Heather likes this. Okay, good. Heather Micha is enjoying this. Okay, good. So this is what I see happening in there. So, and I think that would be absolutely gut-wrenching. I can envision it, and I may be completely wrong. This is my guess, and these are my predictions, and I probably will be wrong. And knowing, GRR, he's going to go, who knows where Martin's going to take this? Who knows where the showrunners, Dave and Dan, have gone, and they're going to just take this into some other direction, and watch, they'll surprise us all. But I think they've gotten to a little bit too predictable in some of the things, and I think we're seeing there aren't a whole lot of options left for all of these characters, and we know people are going to die, and we know that they're going to die at Winterfell. So the question is, who's going to die at Winterfell? And I have to tell you, in my mind, this makes the most sense. They've telegraphed these characters, Gendry and Arya. The worst thing that it was absolutely one of them's going to die because they had that. And I think that since Arya can carry on the Baratheon name, she's the mix with the Stark, she's a badass all her own. I think that she survives and carries on and lives throughout the entire Game of Thrones, having the baby of Gendry. I see that. And I see Missandra, sadly, she gives up on life. Grey Worm's gone. She's got nothing to live for. There's going to be Whites and White Walkers all around her. She can't fight, and she's going to have to take on Grey Worm. And that's just going to be devastating. Devastating. And yeah, Tormund, torn up with the loss of Brienne, the loss of his his big lady that he loves, the big lady that he's been after for, I don't know, 4 seasons now. Yeah, just losing it. And Jaime Lannister having to live with the guilt, the devastation of the woman who gave him his honor back, who redeemed him and set him on a better path, the path that we have come to love about Jaime Lannister. The parts of Jaime Lannister that we have in the last 3 seasons have come to appreciate and to like, and everything good about Jaime Lannister is coming from Brienne of Tarth, and that's why she has to go. He knighted her. It's her proudest moment. It's her high point. And in Game of Thrones, if you reach the pinnacle, you're at your highest high. That is when they take you down to your lowest low. That is what I see happening. I don't see a lot of people's comments. Not everyone was expecting me to come up with a Game of Thrones spoiler edition, but yeah, this is it. This is me talking about Game of Thrones, which I enjoy. And I don't expect everyone to have answers right away. Think about it. Look this over. Share it with your friends. Tell your other friends who watch Game of Thrones and tell me how wrong I am. Tell me I'm wrong right between now and Sunday. You've got plenty of time to tell me, you got it wrong, Mike. I don't believe you, Mike. That's not quite right, Mike. Go for it. Tell me. And then on Sunday, when we're all watching it together, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It could be far worse than I'm imagining. It could be a complete bloodbath. It could be other people. But I think that's who it's going to be. I think they're going to go with 4 people. And then they're going to, and based on that, I'm pretty sure that in episode 4, we're going to see Theon Greyjoy die in trying to redeem himself to protect Bran. And then we're going to see in episode 4 the resolution of Bran versus the Night King, plus some backstory on the Night King. And I think that's going to take up a lot of time, and that's why episode 4 is an extended episode as well. And I think that's when we're going to see it. Hey, Kevin. Kevin Dyer joined us. And I hope, Kevin, you're enjoying this. And again, I have the spoiler warning up. I started this off with spoilers, so I hope people understand there are spoilers here. But I want you to look at this. I want you to think about this and tell me, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Are these 4 people going to wind up being the ones that die? You've got my predictions. I've put it out there in front of you. I don't know. If someone wants to say something right now, please do. Tell me if you think I know what I'm talking about. This is Game of Thrones we're talking about, so almost anything is possible. Do I think that, since we're talking about predictions, is there anyone who thinks that, I think that you're going to see Tyrion, he's going to make it to the end. He's going to survive. I'm pretty sure Tyrion lives through the Game of Thrones. I'm not really sure who else will. I don't think Jaime Lannister will. I don't think Cersei will. I think Arya will. I think she makes it too. I'm not sure about Sansa. She might. There always has to be a Stark at Winterfell. And if Arya becomes the Lady of House Baratheon, I don't know. I don't know that there will be, it would have to be Sansa, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure. And I don't know what's going to happen to Bran. I'm not sure about so many of the other characters. One of the ones I'd say watch out for, and again, I think this is episode 4, not episode 3, we're going to lose track of what happened to Lady Mormont, who I love. I think she's a great character. I love her. She was talking, she was giving it straight to Jorah. Jorah Mormont was just standing tall going, yes, my lady. She's going to go out and fight, and she's going to kick ass. She's going to do great. And it's going to be great to see her on screen fighting besides the men and probably doing better than most men on the battlefield. Yes, that's what I see for Lady Mormont. But will she survive? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm afraid she may not. Do I think Jorah survives episode 3? Yeah, I do. I don't know how long he survives, but I think he does. Do I think that we'll see the Red Lady? Watch out, the Red Woman will be coming back. But I think she shows up in episode 4, along with some of the Red Priests. And I think that's how they get out of Winterfell. And I think that we will see Varys survive in episode 3. Don't know about episode 4, but episode 3. We're going to see a lot of things. But these are my thoughts. I've got a lot of things that I'm thinking about on the show, and I'm enjoying it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you agree with me, maybe not. But I mean, I truly believe, and that's why I look for these pictures. These are the scenes that I think told us everything we needed to know. These are the ones that told us exactly who's going to live and who's going to die in episode 3. And I can't be sure about everyone else. But what I will do is I will leave it here, sharing my thoughts. These are my predictions. Spread the word. Let other people tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Let other people know, and let them tell me if they think that I'm right or I'm wrong. Let's have a little conversation. We are talking about Game of Thrones. This is spoilers. I'm not trying to put it out there to anyone who doesn't know about this, who's just guessing. This is spoilers. But if someone wants to talk about this, discuss it, have a theory about it, hey, let me know. I'm very interested. And then, after Sunday night, 10 o'clock, tell me how right or wrong I am. I'm willing to hear it. But with that said, I want to thank you all. My name is Michael Voss. I am the Dragon of the Southern Tier. And this is No Soundbites Allowed. I have a show on the Exceptional Conservative Network on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, and on Saturdays from 12 noon till 2 o'clock, talking about politics and how it affects you and your life. I also will be on Saturday, Sunday, April 28th, I will be speaking at the Binghamton University at 2 p.m. at the Liberty Weekend. This is brought to you by the Binghamton University College Libertarians and the Binghamton University College Republicans. On Saturday, you'll be seeing my good friend Dr. Giovanni Scaringi, who's also councilman of the city of Binghamton. You'll also hear from Larry Sharp, who will be speaking at the event. He had run for governor in 2018, and they'll both be there on Saturday, 27th. I'll have an interview with Larry Sharp at 3:30 on Saturday, the 27th. If you are in Binghamton, coming to the event, please stop by the Belmar Pub. They are my friends, and I do enjoy them, and they have a great time there. If you're hungry, you can also go to the Park Diner. My friends are over there as well. This is not a paid advertisement. They're my friends. And I'm just telling you what I like here in Binghamton. But do come out and see us on the Liberty Weekend. And most of all, let me know what you think about my spoilers. I hope everyone's going to be well. I'll talk to you on Thursday at 1 o'clock, and where I'll see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. Until then, everyone be well.